Oh, okay, cool. It's going. All right. So, tell me about your gameplay.
I wrote this down actually. I do have a tendency to waffle at times. Um, I started playing in season two. I've never really like gone for it like ranked. I just sort of got gold every time just by lazily playing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite a competitive person anyway. Basically, this season there was some real downtime with WoW at the moment, raiding and that. So I was like, I've got 6 months. So I'm gonna try and like totally arrogantly like I'm gonna get gold, no problem. I'm gonna go straight for plat. You know what I mean? And
Hell yeah.
I started off silver 4, got to silver 3, got to silver 2, and then I've just tanked, man. I went from like -8. I don't know if you know that, like in Warcraft 3, we used to say like -8, like out of your wins, so -8 wins overall. And what am I now, like 20 odd? So I was playing Twitch. I really enjoy Twitch's playstyle, and my KDA seems like far and beyond anyone in like my league every time I look. But clearly, I'm doing something wrong, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I switched to Lucian recently because I like played 400 games on Twitch, right? And
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
maybe let's try something new, you know. So I
I
like
got you.
Lucian. I like having him in my repertoire now. Like, I'm sort of playing between the two. Like, I'm going to start playing between the two a bit more. So yeah, but I personally, I feel like looking at my replays and that, where I feel least confident is actually in team fights. I tend to never really go dramatically orphan in lane unless, like the other day, I had like an Aurelia and Rakan bot against me and Pike, and we just got destroyed.
Mm,
Right, you
that
kept
sounds like
diving us
fun.
under the tower. Oh my god. So I'm not really. I don't really want to dwell on lanes that I couldn't have won anyway. You know, I'm quite good at playing safe, so I would go as far to say I rarely come out a lane massively down. You know, if
Mm.
I don't often crush the lane either, but I don't really come out the lane really like behind. But I think I have a bit of fear in team fights as I'm about to go in. Like, is this the right time? Am I? Do you know what I mean?
I
Sometimes I'm
see.
just
Yeah.
going
No,
like
no,
a
I got you.
lunatic.
I got you. Should be really interesting because usually when people have really high KDAs but still lose games, oftentimes it'll be because they do really well, and then a critical moment in the game happens. Mid late game, maybe they get caught, maybe they play team fight wrong, and then they lose the fight, and then Baron's gone and the game's over, right? So
Yeah, that sounds a lot like yeah.
that's usually how it goes, right? So I'm sure we'll be able to see it at least once in the replays you have here. So which of these do you think expresses that the most out of all these?
I wouldn't mind like a bit of help with you on this one. So I have one the other day that I felt like I literally played out of my skin. At the end, I was like, oh yeah, I felt really good about that game, and genuinely felt like there wasn't much else I could do to carry. So I don't know if that's worthwhile looking at because we did sort of get crushed. So is it better to have a bit of a closer game, or would that be one to look at? Whereas I
Show
felt I played really well.
me a game where you played average. I think is the best way to describe it. So if we do really well but we still lose the game, then maybe that's something you want to look at, right? So would that be like
I don't think I uploaded a game like that actually. Sorry, I sort of uploaded games where I was so far ahead and I still couldn't carry because it seems to be like that seems to be the games that like the games I just get crushed. I'm not too fussed about focusing on in silver. It's more I want to focus on the ones that I feel I could have won and then why I didn't win them. If that makes
Okay,
sense. Or
that's
do you
good.
feel that's probably a
No, that's good. Then let's
one
say
of
out
them
of these
two?
two,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah. Lucian or Twitch? Would you want to go over first?
The Twitch one's ridiculous. So yeah, do that one because yeah.
All right, let us take a look. Right. Oh wow, this is some interesting level 2 gank. But
Yeah.
so if we think laning phase is all good, if there are no major issues, as long as you're not dying in lane or anything crazy is going on, then I think it is fine to fast forward past it.
Yeah,
if you're
I'll
very
be
confident,
like I say,
right?
I'm not. I don't really want to like laning phase. Not being arrogant, but I imagine that's like I'm in silver. I don't think laning phase is like a massive thing here, you know, like
I
just
got no, yeah, I
like
agree.
that.
I agree. The only time it becomes a problem is when something like you give up 2 kills to the jungler or something crazy like that,
Mhm.
and then their jungler goes to other lanes and causes havoc over there. So um, okay. Everything seems to be good. So it's definitely gonna be mid game, late game kind of ideas going on here. Is probably where we want to take a look at. All right, so we're getting pretty much close to the end of laning. Once you push this
See,
out,
this
maybe
is
you
the other
can.
thing. Like, I probably don't know when them phases are. Like when the mid game is. I don't really have a clear definition of when that is.
So generally speaking, when outer towers start falling, right?
Right.
It's no longer laning. So let's say they lost their tower, right?
Mhm.
We're getting a transition into the mid game then, right? Because now you have to deal with longer lanes, right? Or lane assignments. You know, everyone's got their
Mhm.
ultimates, right? People are
Right.
starting to build one, two
Yeah.
items. So anything like that, right? We're pretty much at that point, like. You're at the point where you kill them by you're gonna take their tower, right? And then that's opening up into the mid game.
Okay.
Okay, we're getting some free kills here on the roam. Wait. Oh, okay, we did get Eve. Very nice.
Yeah,
Um,
even there, like if you could just like even that, am I too passive there? Like I just thought it wasn't worth carrying on dying. I didn't know I was actually gonna kill her.
yeah, that's good. I mean, no real qualms, right? If you think that
Right.
it's unsafe to keep chasing, definitely don't keep chasing, right? So
Yeah.
that's good. Um, nothing too much to worry about, really. Pushing them in is fine, right? We have a boatload of money. I don't. So definitely winnable, right? Okay, so what's going on here? So Elise is dying, so you don't want to hope that she's dead. You just want to push, sure. Let's get past the first tower phase, I guess. So okay, what's going on here? Let's talk about this. So what's going on through your head here? Because this is pretty much the end of landing phase.
Uh, I can't reliably say if I can remember, but like in a tip, if I was found myself in this situation, it's sort
Mm-hmm.
of I suppose we could have took bot turret, but there's too many people missing, so I go mid. I suppose just to take the farm that's there. I maybe
So
took your advice not to hit tower maybe a bit too literally, you know, but
well, it's good that we aren't focused on hitting tower, right? But you know what
mm,
happens if you go mid and push out mid, but Aurelia's already on the way. What's going on with the
then I'm probably gonna get pinged and get abused by Aurelia
Oh,
initially.
well, you know, there is a reason for it, right? So, you know,
Right,
kind of what's the reasoning here? Okay, let's put it in perspective
right,
of let's say that your jungler comes and pushes your wave and
yeah,
you can't do Crux because they kill you, right?
yeah.
You take too much damage. So what's wrong with the picture? Why doesn't the jungler why can't the jungler take a wave and you do a camp? Because it's really hard for you to do a camp, right?
Yes.
So you can take the wave and the jungler can do his camp and everyone's happy, right? Everyone's getting money. But the other
Yeah,
way is
exactly.
not quite the same, right? So in this case, everyone wants their own lane of farm in a sense, right? So it doesn't matter what we
Yeah.
want as long as you're getting a full wave, everyone's happy. So when you go mid here and Aurelia goes mid, we have two people coming for the same wave
Yeah, yeah.
is the prompt. So, you know, where's the other wave? Oh, the other wave's bot right now. It's actually coming in as we, you know, where this video is paused, the wave is coming in, right? That's this wave. So when you take mid, Aurelia can't like teleport bot, you know what I'm
So it's
saying?
okay to just sit, but it's just it feels a bit weird to just sit there, like here, like we're just gonna sit, or we're gonna overextend and be under the turret. So it's pretty fine to where your mouse is now, maybe.
Right,
Just
right.
chill in the bush there.
Right.
That's fine.
If you know, what are they gonna do? Okay, they're gonna come and defend. Okay, then during that time, maybe you can find the fight mid, right? But if you
Right.
ever want to, you know, when we say, you know, what should you do after you push, which is basically what this is, right? Your options include something like hide in a bush, right, or roam in the river, right, looking for a fight because the enemy Lucian is gonna pick up this wave, right? Or you can hit the
Mm.
tower if all five of them show up top or something like that, right? Or even you go deep ward, right? Anything like that can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
viable, right? But well, no matter what happens, 95% of the time you're gonna come back and push the next wave, right?
Yeah.
So this is good. Okay, sure, we're gonna go ward. We're gonna break some plants. Okay, come back and get the next wave,
Right.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we didn't go back to our lane, which is kind of problematic because now you know someone on the team isn't getting money, right? And then same thing here, right? I think we could be pushing bot. Like Soraka got the bot lane wave, but she's not the person who wants to make money. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of strange what's going on here right now. So in terms of, you know, what should we be doing? When in doubt, push out your lane. Okay. When in doubt, push out your lane. It's okay to roam like this, but you should realize that the goal here isn't to push this out. It's to you know, help Aurelia fight when the enemy millionaire comes, right? No, we're not trying to like take everything, right? As long as we're getting, you know, as long as we're getting our own lane, we should be happy, right? No need to go mid or anything like that when we have our own, you know, bot lane. So I think we're doing a good job of like killing a bunch of people though. He has 7 kills somehow, so it's kind of insane.
Most of our games are like it's, I don't know, man. It'll come clear, I suppose.
Right. So we're in this kind of position. You don't really want to fight. You don't have your invisibility up, so you just want to leave. So what was the problem here?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, Mundo, I don't know why I'm fighting Mundo. Right, red buff or no bed buff. I don't know why I'm fighting Mundo. No, I haven't got my ult. I just used it to kill Eve. Yeah, it's a it just feels like there's a bit of fear in me, like being in this league, and I don't want to keep blaming the actual league of Silver, but they just go in, they just fight all the time, you know, they're always fighting, and you'll go bot, and then you'll get flamed. Why you bot? Why'd you do that? Why'd you decide? That's what I struggle with. It's when is the right time to go in, and when is the best time. If they're all gonna die, just leave them to die. Do you know?
These are all great. These are all great examples we can use to help you figure out, you know, what should you be doing. So when it comes to, you know, at this rank, people want to fight, right? Okay, fair. Then you help fight after you push. Okay, always. That's like your hard rule. You're always gonna help after you push. Yeah, exactly. So when we say rules, like, you know, you're always gonna push out your weight before you help. Do this 9 times out of 10. There's an exception, but we don't really care about the exception because it's not consistent. Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't matter if we fail to recognize that exception sometimes, because the other 90 times we're gonna be winning situation, right?
Yeah, that's the sort of play style I want to build on. I'd rather like
right.
Phase as well, because I feel it's good enough. I'd rather deal on the weaknesses and then if I get myself to say a higher league where I can start looking at more nuanced things, you know.
Exactly. So here's the strategy: is in this mid game, we're in the mid game now. We got 2 items. So somehow we have 2 items. Sure, we're really strong. You know, can you just force down towers randomly? Is it clear?
He's a
right.
Especially with the randomings, because you hit the turret. If someone's defending, it hits them. The turret targets you.
Right.
The best for hitting turrets, right?
So we can't go around randomly taking towers or stuff like that, right? So you know, what's the clear plan? There's no real clear plan in solo queue, right? There's no real team coordination. But if you do good things that you know are always going to be good, then you can build yourself up a lead. You can allow your team to do stuff. So when we say do things that are only good, it means like, oh, don't start 4v5, or maybe if their AD carry shows top, we start a fight because we know it's good. Or for now, all we need to worry about is push the wave, because we know that. Why do we know that's good? Or I guess, well, why do you think I would say pushing it past the river is good? Right. Yeah, you already know, right? So basically, you're making optimal amount of money for a carry role. So anything that does not involve pushing out, you know, you haven't pushed out yet. Like here, we didn't push out. I mean, you know, bot is technically pushed out, but Soraka like queued the whole wave or something, right? So it's not quite correct here. That's something you want to look at.
Go further than where the wave is now, though, right, bot? That would be a bit risky, right?
Right, unless, you know, they show up somewhere else on the map and no one can stop you, right?
Yeah.
Then you can go push, right? But you can get even greedier. You can push even past that point, right? But let's say, you know, some fight breaks out. You know, is it clear we can knock down this tower?
Sorry, may I ask that? Should I have ulted there? Was that a pointless ult, really? Because like I'm conscious I ulted there.
This is fine. This is fine. We ulti to kill someone is perfectly fine, right? Maybe we say something like, oh, we need the extra damage, or maybe we need the extra range, right? Honestly, that's a-okay, right? And then since you know that, let's put this as an example, right? So using ult to kill a jungler is good outcome, right?
Right.
So in this, 90 times out of 100, it's gonna be a good outcome. So use their ult, you kill jungle, good outcome, I would say, right? So what comes after that? Okay, well, we don't have our ulti for this fight, don't have your Q. What do? Push out the wave, which is good, which is exactly what we're doing. And then, we're doing something, yeah, exactly. We're kind of, what part of this is not part of the formula, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Is we're trying to do something that's not really, we don't know if this is good or not.
No, I'm just saying, like, to be honest, if you look at risk reward, I'm taking huge risk, and what's the best I'm gonna get? Like, chunk Mundo down to half health, then he's gonna ulti and run away, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's huge risk because it's 4v4, right? But the real idea is that there's no reward.
Yeah.
It's just pointless, right? So what should we do instead? It's something like push out your wave. So kill these minions and do something else, right? Or you can even go top here, right? Top would be really good. So instead of stealthing back in, we should run top and push that out.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And you backping these guys, right? Anything like that.
Do I bother with backpinging and that? It's just.
Oh yeah. No, you throw a back ping and you leave and you don't go help this because this makes no sense, right? So as it's put it this way: if your team fights 3v4 and you got 3 waves of farm, you're gonna be winning, right? Especially since if you back ping them before, they're gonna be already running, so they shouldn't all just die for free. It doesn't really make any sense, right? But since we're kind of playing, since there's like random fighting going on, we have no idea what this outcome is, and that's never a good idea, right? You always want to know that the outcome is going to be good, or you have a method to generate a good outcome, right? So the reason why we can just go to silent and push is because we know that's always going to be good, always, right? So that's why if you ask anyone, they'll say, okay, you gotta go push top here because there's nothing going on here. There's nothing to do here, really. It's just two sides hitting each other until someone dies, right? Someone came up with the example of do you know about gladiators in like the olden times where people just go into a ring and they hit each other until people die. That's exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah, like two boxers standing there, just punching each other.
Yeah, exactly. No one has any idea what's going on. It doesn't make sense, right?
It's hard not to get drawn into it though, as well, like because especially when you're playing, like at the start,
pure ignore it.
But...
Right. So let's see if we can find an example in my game that I just played. Anywhere in the mid game, let's see. Anything like this, right? So top needs to be cleared, right? And there's nothing going on.
Even so. Over there. Sorry, I've played a lot of StarCraft. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right. Map is okay. Yeah. But yeah, this seems like 4v4. What's going on? Nothing really is going on the map. Your first priority is always push out waves, right? So where do you go from here? Well, if you're super greedy, you go top because someone wants top. So it's either me, Jace, or Echo, right? These are the carries.
Gonna get there in time
anyway, right? He's dead, right? And we'll just say Echo goes mid because I want all that money, so I'm gonna go top, right? So what do? You're gonna push this out. Let me beat this real quick. You're gonna push this out, right, past the river, and then once you push it past the river, you're good to go, right? This is the cookie cutter strat, and then your team's not gonna fight mid because you spam back ping, whatever, right? And then let's say the enemy team tries to fight mid, but they can't find a good force on your team. Then what happened to their carries? Well, you just got 3 waves over them, right? So your team's winning, right? And then maybe if more people show up, you can even keep pushing, right? Because you say, oh, no one can stop me, so you got another wave.
Yeah.
Right, that's the idea. Whenever this happens, can you help this right now?
From your position now?
No, impossible.
You're not gonna get there in time, no.
Exactly. So you just spam back ping, everyone runs, right? And all of a sudden you have 2,000 gold, and what's the CS difference looking like? Let me see. I don't know if I put up a scoreboard somewhere. Oh, here we go. Oh, come on. Not like this. So CS difference in the bot lane is like 60 CS, right? You don't need to kill. This is kind of how you like get a lead without having to somehow kill someone magically. You know what I'm saying? League is very much about how can you get an advantage without having to do too much, right? You want to have low effort, high reward. It's kind of the idea, and that's kind of what you want to aim for, right? So anytime you have you don't know what to do and you can push out a wave, you push out a wave. So in this position, right, don't know what to do, then push out a wave, right? You want to push out top here, right? Since mid is already pushed out. I would say we don't really care about dragon, right? Dragon, don't care about, don't worry about dragons, unless they're all dead and it's free as hell. Okay.
Right, okay.
You just want to push out waves because you know what happened to this top wave in the last 2 minutes, right? I think you guys lost like 3 or 4 waves straight up, just like these minions killing each other right there, right? So if you had gone up there to collect all that, you would be ahead of the AD carry even more, right? To the point where you can like 1v9 or 1v5, I guess. Not really 1v9, but that's the idea is, you know, we kind of haven't made any money in the last few minutes.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I just sort of like the lead's not increasing, right? It's just
right. It's like saying, you know, we got a lead. How come we can't win the game? It's because we're not using it or we're not really doing anything with it, right? So something like this, you know, is how do we know this is not good outcome? What do you think?
I don't know where Elise, is it? Sorry, Eve is. I don't know where the ADC is.
Yeah, his whole team could be here.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I'm basically gonna have to ult him to kill him anyway, right?
All right, it's not clear that we can kill him before their whole team comes here, right?
Yeah.
And our Stark is in base, whatever. You can list off reasons, whatever. The bottom line is, if we're not sure, what's the golden idea? Push out waves. You could have pushed out bot. So we have a choice.
Is there as well because she's just CC'd.
Right, we have a choice. So here we can do something mid or we can push out bot. If this is the exception, is that if you don't push out bot, you have to know this mid play is gonna work. 90%. You have a 90% certainty that this is gonna work. So when I see this, I don't think there's a 90% certainty here, right? Here's fast forward. It's dicey, right? It's not looking 90%, right? He could have easily one shot you. I think he just like messed up or something, right? Kind of we're forced in a spot where you can't really win. It's just they have to screw up for you to get out, right? And it's just no one has any idea what's going on anymore, right? So this is kind of the problem is that I hate to say that we're part of the problem, but we're kind of part of the problem when it comes to people grouping up and fighting, right? You want to push out waves, okay? Don't know what to do, you push out your lane, right? And then your team, when can you help? When your team is within 1 lane's distance.
Right.
Okay? 1 lane's distance is like mid and bot. You push out and then you go help, okay? This is just the iron rule. So what you're doing here is really good. It's just we did it in the wrong order. We fought and then we pushed it out. It doesn't make sense, right? So definitely gotta push out first. Okay, so going for red, going for camps, sure, but you know, okay, we're looking for some kind of fight or something, but okay, clearing camps, but you know, same kind of idea here, right? If we were pathing top side, we should go top. Right. Yeah. If we wanted to stay bot side to pick up the bot wave, we should have stayed bot-ish. Or after you do this, go back bot. Right. So we gotta pick a lane and push it out. Right. Yeah, everyone wants their own lane.
Yeah,
sorry, what were you saying?
Probably like I said, I think I'll just feel fearful to just stand still. Like say bot, I'd have to go and stand bot a little bit, wait for it to come in. And it just feels odd to like stand still for like 15 seconds, if you know what I mean. Is that
right, you can even do that, but you know, you'll always be able to find something to do, like ward a bush or hide somewhere or something like that, right? Okay, they didn't get Baron here, which is kind of interesting, but let's see what happened here. Let's see, your whole team died somehow. Let's watch this. So they fought mid, and you couldn't save them. Then you know you gotta run because this is not a good fight, right? So when you see something like this, you want to spam backping everyone and what's it called? Don't make the situation worse, right? So if the fight is already lost, don't come join the fight, right? You have to know for some reason that if you help this fight, you're gonna get something out of it, right? And if they all die, if they insta die like this, you're not really gonna be able to get anything. I can't believe I don't even know how you got this guy, but it seems strange that you guys were able to get him without losing anyone, right? Actually, you know, you guys are losing Baron because someone got caught after the Bard ult, right? That could have been you in the Bard ult, for example. Right here. He could have aimed you instead. We can't really do anything, right? So, and the reason why we can't really come help a fight that's already donezo is because, you know, what happens when you die is that they just get Baron, right? But what if you live? You know, can they say they can get Baron 90% sure? Not really. You're gonna come out and ulti them, right? So kind of the idea what we're seeing is, you know, once you've gotten your lead.
I didn't see that, right?
Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
Just the way that happened then, like, I've watched this replay and that never even occurred to me. I was like,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, whenever disaster happens, you kind of want to make sure it doesn't get worse, right? And then whenever something good happens, you want to try and punish as hard as you can, right? Like someone on your team catches someone, okay, what's the best you can get? Or someone on your team gets caught, okay, how do we stop them from getting more, right? Is the idea. Okay, we just killed Bart here somehow. You just zero reaction. Okay, that's kind of funny, but okay, good. You know, come out to our lane. You push this out, then you can run mid, sure. Um, a fight breaks out mid, but I think you're really strong, so you can kill people.
Like wherever you are, you know, it's crazy, but yeah.
Okay, we can push this out. I'm pretty sure, or I guess we can clear this out. Okay, fast forward. This is 2v3.
I mean, should I have ulted there? That was probably a pointless ult, right?
I mean, if you ulti here, you know, who can you kill in 6 hits?
Lucian.
So we didn't aim Lucian is the problem. Is the connect between what we want to do and what we actually did was not there, right? Probably because we just tried to help on instinct or whatever, right? So anytime you want to fight, it's kind of ideally you want to have an idea of what's going on here. Like, oh, we're trying to kill someone here, right? Or if you want to help this guy, what's the best we can do? You aim Lucian or something, but you know, we aim Mundo here because we're just trying to help, right? So, and it's not really clear.
Because just one question on that. I don't think I would be the sort of player who would like if we if we went back, where like, are you suggesting walking up round the back of where the dead turret is, killing Lucian and trying to get away, like mad?
Right.
Or?
If you think you can kill him in 6 hits, why not? Right? How do they stop you?
But then surely they're gonna kill me, right? Or I'm gonna risk it.
Right. What? Okay. So when we talk about coming out of stealth, and you know, what can we do out of stealth, right? There's kind of a few components of this, right? The first is, can you kill someone here? So let's say, for argument's sake, you can kill Lucian in 6 hits or 3 hits or whatever it is. So you can come out and kill him, right? And providing he doesn't dash over the wall, do a flash over the wall, or anything fancy like that. So what's the first thing that's gonna happen when you come out of stealth?
Well, I imagine, yeah, they're gonna all turn on me, right?
With which ability is gonna kill you out of their champions?
Maybe the swing grab.
Okay, so that's about it. From that's it, right? That's the only ability that's gonna insta kill you when you come out of stealth.
Well, it's not even. It's more the CC, right? There's nothing that can insta kill me per se, right?
Right. It's usually about CC when you're playing Twitch, right? So okay, swing grab, that's it, right? And then once you've solved for swing grab, you can come out 6-shot Lucian, flash out, whatever, it doesn't matter. You know you're winning. That's how you know that this plays 90%.
Worthwhile play though, like, would you make that play or would you just?
Well, what's wrong with the play?
No, that's what I'm asking. Like, to me, it feels like you're kind of making the situation worse, because if you don't kill Lucian, then you're not going to get your stealth proc. He does flash over the wall. You sort of caught with your pants down, right, or not?
Right. So that's part of the plan. That's part of the plan, right? Is you know, one of the premise is that you can kill him. One of the premises that you can kill him. So let's say you expect him to flash over the wall. Then you come out, ulti, and then ward over the wall. Right? So now you got all your bases covered. What if he dashes, flashes over here? You stand in the middle, and then you're ready to flash after him or something like that, right? So once you've got all your variables solved, you can't lose. Is the point I'm trying to make, right? Is that when you're trying to make a play, there should be no way you lose. Otherwise, something went wrong in your planning stage. Right. So here, I feel like we didn't really have a planning stage, right? So I think trying to fight is it's not something to worry about right now, right? Okay. This is just imagine this is pure 2v3. We're losing. So what's the solution? Okay, don't use our ulti unless you have a reason to. Right?
Yeah, I was wondering if that, like, watching this back now personally, what I'm going to take away from this is just let Elisa die and walk off. And
right, exactly, day, right? Exactly. Sure, there's an exception to the rule where you can 2v3 and find Lucian somehow, but that's not what you need to do to get out of this rank.
No.
Exactly. That's not a fundamental that you can improve on, right?
Sorry, that's what I thought you was getting at. Like that was the best play there, but no, yeah.
Right. It's just in general, you know, part of that, you know, is relevant, very relevant, because you know when you come out of stealth, as Twitch, that's
Yeah.
sometimes that's your strength, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not completely irrelevant, but it's
no,
just
no, 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 no,
just
yeah,
just
yeah.
part of. Oh, you're gonna kill everyone here. Okay, you need to leave.
Man,
You need to run.
I was so happy there.
So let's talk about this one. All right, so if we say going bot here can be dicey, why would we say that?
It's so obvious, yeah. It's Baron, right? If they
Right.
if they fight
You're just gonna go to Baron.
my team loses. It's a free Nash. Yeah, I'm gonna get a wave.
Exactly.
Maybe push another wave, but
Which
yeah,
is
we
exactly what
need-
exactly what they did, right?
Yeah.
They just started a fight and then we have a problem. So this is one of the exceptions to the rule of we need to push out no matter what. Is if Baron is up, you don't want to go
Whose job is it to
away
go
from
bot
Baron.
though, there, like in this
well,
situation?
who has teleport? Right.
I think Yorick might have it.
Right. So then he goes bot because if there's a Baron fight,
Yeah,
he can teleport in.
Oh, two of them
Right.
do. I'm sorry.
Exactly. So anyone who teleport can go bottom, right? Or
Could
you
I
have to
done this
kind
ult
of
better, do you think?
say again.
Could I have done this ult better?
As long as you had the right idea of we're gonna ulti to aim someone specific. So you had Eve in mind, right? But I think you found Lucian in the end. It's good, right? We killed someone with the ulti, right? For now we're just gonna worry about the result. It's like do we get the expected value out of our ulti, which is killing someone, right? And that's all we really care about. So here we're just killing everyone. So basically we have enough. It seems like you get a lot of money to just kill everyone, and then I feel like there's a disconnect between us getting all this money and then what we do with it.
Yeah, I don't feel like I hard carry the game really. Like, yeah.
We just need to kill this guy.
I think,
this is awkward. Okay, you want to stop
I will,
chasing?
yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's
really
good. That's good. You don't want to keep chasing, and then sure push out mid, or sure you can fight this guy mid. So far we have the right idea, right? It's just that one time we went bot is kind of so this is the thing with League, is that our decisions are gonna warp the game, right? Especially whether they're good or bad. If it's good, you're gonna warp the game in your favor, right? So that you don't have to do anything. Your team is strong. And if it's bad, it's gonna be the opposite, right? Our team's gonna be weak. So, for example, stuff like us going to Baron, us going bot, kind of, our whole team died, literally, right? And there was nothing you could do. So these are the kind of ideas you want to work towards, is always do something consistently good, right? So how do you know this is consistently good? What would you say?
This is consistently good now, what I'm doing.
Right, 90% good. You're 90% sure this is a good play. Similar to how pushing out waves is going to be good, right?
I suppose looking at it doesn't feel that good now, right? I suppose he's isolated, right? He's on his own. There's no one else about. I've got backup coming in. I'm pretty fed. I've got red.
Well, let's go in a broader sense. So, numbers advantage is the biggest reason why you'll win fights in any rank, right? So. Let's say you don't see his whole team. His whole team is hiding behind this ledge, right? How come you guys still win this?
How comes we still win it?
Right. Well, how many of his teammates are alive?
Sorry. Yeah. I drifted off. Yeah. I've got you. Yeah. So even if they all turn up like in the next millisecond, we've still got enough backup, right? Well, we're still even, and Elise can come as well.
Yes, you have more people essentially, right? Or I guess you could say this 4v4, but Elise is coming. You guys are gonna win, right? So that's kind of how you can make sure that you can push these outcomes in your favor, right? Hey, this is 5v4. You just start a fight, right? And no one, the other 9 players have no idea what's going on, but since you started the fight, everyone's gonna come, right? Yeah. And since you started a fight with an advantage, you guys are gonna win. Like 90% certainty, you guys are gonna win. Unless you literally die in one hit for whatever reason, right? You guys are gonna win this. So we don't even have to watch. It's just gonna be winning. Doesn't matter what happens, right? Is the idea. So things like pushing out your waves, things like starting fights 5v4, right? But the opposite is true. Do not start 4v5s, right? Because I think one thing we definitely want to watch out for, right? So something like this, what's going on in this picture now?
This is, I mean, I'm aware she's on the map. It's not total like bulletedness. I know she's around. I haven't got stealth. I'm probably coming from a funky angle. I should probably walk in front of the Raptors. I'm just asking for this really. I haven't got ult because I used it on Swain.
Right. So this is one of those. This fight doesn't seem good. Should we really try and help this? Not really. You need to make
Right.
sure you're safe yourself. Right. Is the idea, right? She's doing the same. Eve is literally doing the same thing to you what you did to the other 12 people in this game or whatever. The other 12 times you just kill people is she'll walk up next to you and just kill you because she's invisible, right? Honestly, this could be any champion, right? Have you played against Camille, Aurelia, Rengar, Kha'Zix? It doesn't matter. Talon, literally, it's all the same. You're just gonna come out, they're gonna throw all your abilities in your face, and you're gonna die. So, what's the solution, right? So, what would you do instead? What do you think? From the things we talked about today.
Top's probably safer to push out, but bottom looks kind of. Bottom's probably risky though, right? With Eve on the map.
Remember, why can't we go bot when Baron is up?
Yeah, so bot is basically a no-no in
right.
the late game, right?
Yeah. When the way you know it is, can they do Baron if you go bot? If the answer is yes, then you can't go.
No.
So,
I like that because it's very binary. I can just be like,
yeah, exactly.
Baron, don't go bottom.
It's very binary.
It's not a rule I have to think about.
Yeah, exactly. It's just straight up. You just follow these rules. You're good to go, right?
Yeah,
Same thing here. Not sure what to do, you push out top. Right, we're good to go. Why don't we push out mid? We already did. So that's how you know. You just push out top. That's how we know. It would have saved you from Eve would have had to travel across the whole map to get to you. By which time you're already gone because you already pushed out the wave, right? So these are kind of the things that will help prevent random throws like this. Because if everyone dies, they get Baron. Like fast forward, like they're getting Baron right now. If you guys aren't careful, right? Okay, I guess they don't get Baron, but it seemed like whenever you die, there's the game's out of your hands, right? Essentially. So that's kind of what we want to avoid. So when we're super strong, now we're in the late game territory. When we're near the late game territory,
it's so strong. It should be auto win nearly for Twitch, right?
Not necessarily, depending on team comps, right?
Ouch.
But this is fine, right? There's no follow up on the bird ult, so if we can just hit someone here or ulti, this might be oh, this is not good at all, is it? Okay, so let's talk about this. So when it comes to the late game, when you have your items, you care less about pushing out these waves, right? Now the rule is help if they're within one lane's distance, if you can help, right? If they don't get blown up immediately, you can help, right? So we can help here, I would say. So what do you think? What do you think kind of went wrong here?
I overextended to kill Lucian. I mean, I don't know. I'll push Lucian out the fight, so that's probably not the end of the world. I suppose I'm not hitting the closest target, which was Mundo, but he feels a bit unkillable. Like if I'm focusing on Mundo, I'm not killing the people who are going to kill the rest of my team, right?
So
or
this
am
can
I just totally lost?
you can kind of this is very related to how Twitch team fights because it's different from all the other AD carries, right? In a sense of who can you kill on their team just when you come out of stealth.
Lucian, Eve, everyone apart from Mundo, right? Not Swain, no. So Bard, Lucian, Eve, yeah. Right,
so everyone but Swain, I guess. So if you're looking to kind of maximize your what's it called? Your presence, your impact, right? Yeah. Your impact in a fight, you can go behind them or find a way to get in a spot where you can hit them 6 times because that's our general rule, cool. Right? Yeah. So we can't hit him 6 times here. Why?
Because he's just gonna dash, right?
Yeah, he's gonna walk away. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how do you put yourself in a spot where you can't walk away? Okay, if you were here, for example, if you somehow got around or maybe dead, right? Right. He can't get away because he's dashing through you. And why can't he dash forward? Your team is there. So that's kind of the idea is when you come out of stealth, you want to be able to do something, right? So we got a decent amount of damage here, but it's not good enough since our Elise died.
It's like half damage on him, a bit on him, a bit. It's not like
right. It's kind of strange, right? It's like we went for him, didn't work. Coming back, hitting the close guy. This fight's disaster because your teammate's already dead, right? It didn't matter that even if you killed Bard, it didn't matter. Yeah, exactly. It kind of doesn't make sense. So here's the idea: is in a team fight, you want to hit the closest guy until you can find something better, right? So what we mean by something better is like going invisible, stealthing, and killing the backline. That would be better than hitting the closest guy. Would you say?
No, absolutely. It's just yeah, a lot of the advice that you get is to hit the closest guy. So that's what I mean. I just need a bit more confidence in what I'm doing, because I have tried to make them sort of plays to Twitch, and it can be amazing at times. You can just blow 3 people up before they even get to react, right?
Right.
But then a lot of the advice you get at times is like hit the closest guy, but clearly not when playing Twitch, right? But
Right. Twitch is Twitch is different, right? So this is the caveat to the rule is you hit the closest guy, you don't press Q.
Right.
Okay. Because if you with the instant you press Q and you don't get an assist, the option of maybe getting onto the back line later in the fight is gone, completely gone. Right. So the reason why is, you know, you're super strong. How come we can't carry? Is because we kind of didn't really get to do anything in a sense, right? It's not nothing. We did a lot. Yeah, we did a lot, but for how much money we have, it's definitely not as good, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, like if anyone else, like anyone above, like I imagine if I gave you yourself this position, you'd probably like get triple kill or something at least, you know.
Sure.
Knowing how to play the fight,
right, exactly. So I think this is definitely something you want to work on. Since if you say, you know, it looks like in your OPGG you're getting all these kills. You know, how do we transition it into a win? If you win these fights, you're winning the game, right? If you had killed them there, you could have ended mid probably, or you could have gotten Baron, right? So how do you win these fights? Well, it's basically, you know, exactly what you're doing right now, except it's no different in a team fight. I think the key mistake in that fight was just you pressed Q and you ran through them, and then we came out of stuff and didn't do anything, right? So what you've been doing the whole game is exactly the same thing you want to do in team fights. Okay, is you want to conceal your presence and then get on the back line. Since you're always strong, you should know that 6 hits on the back line, you're killing someone. If you 6 hits and press E, you're killing someone, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's all you have to know, right? So okay, we can definitely kill this guy. Pretty sure we can kill this guy. Oh, this is really awkward. You want to run? Okay, fine. Maybe we can't kill Swain. Maybe something like Aim Eve could be good. Honestly, this is just like
build. Maybe should I have built?
No,
not really.
it should be. Yeah, it should be fine. Don't worry about the build. It should be fine.
Okay, cool.
I prefer press the attack myself, but you don't have to worry about the build at all.
Do you know what? I do prefer press the attack, and I had Soraka, so I don't know why I had fleet footwork. I must have changed it for a match earlier where it was like an Alistair, you know, Jin or something. So I picked fleet footwork. I do prefer press the attack. Absolutely.
Okay, that's good. You know,
that's not that's not a standard.
That would probably help. And then, you know, Yorick dies, and it's kind of strange. You're gonna win this fight though. Oh my god, what the hell? Why would she go in? Okay, you definitely don't want to fight that. Oh, you can one-shot people. Oh, you can go in here. Oh no,
right.
You're all dead. Okay, it seems like the thing that'll help you the most is you don't really need to worry about generating income or getting a lead. It's how do you kill people with this lead, right? How do you plan this out effectively? All right, so when we're in the planning stage, right? The first thing that comes to mind is okay.
I was meaning to out over the wall there, right? I don't actually know why I didn't end up doing it.
You're not in range here.
Not really gonna hit anyone, right?
Yeah. This is not a good plan, right? So this is the planning stage, right? So here's how we do it on Twitch. Let's say for argument's sake, we're only gonna play Twitch. So okay, what's good value out of your ult? Who can you hit like 3-4 times and you're gonna kill them?
In this situation,
just on their team, it's the same people, right? It's gonna be Bard, Lucian, Eve, whatever. So okay, now we need to be close enough for us to ulti and hit them, and they can't get away. So that'll be like over here or over here. Okay, problem 1 solved. You can kill someone. Okay, problem 2 is what happens when you come out of stealth. Okay, Bard throws Q, Swain throws grab. That's about it. Okay, you flash, and then that's it. Once you have part 1, part 2, and you put it together, it's winning. Right. right. Yeah, exactly. We can't even if you have a really good play on Twitch, you can't repeat it because there's no real method for our madness, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I need to like have more of an internal monologue in my head, what I'm planning, what I'm doing, like all game long, really, rather than just, yay.
Right, exactly. And the reason why we know they're gonna do what they're gonna do is because that's what we would do. If Twitch came out of stealth, Bard throws Q immediately, and then you flash it, easy, 100% win, right? You can stand in place. I'm serious. You can stand here, press R, right click, and then put your mouse cursor over here and press F. The instant you see Bard do something, and then you're winning, 100% winning. You press E when there's 6 hits coming out. And that's it. That's all you need for your plan, right? And then once you can do part 1, part 2, and do it over and over and over and over again, it'll come a lot faster. But the main point is that you shouldn't come out of stealth until you figured out what you're gonna do, because you can't improve on it until you do the stuff, right?
I just feel there's a bit of urgency here. Sorry, like just to give you an idea of my thought process here, like because Aurelia's gone in, right, and she's going crazy, right? She's dead. It just feels like now she's dead. There's an element of surprise, like to just go now. Do you know what I mean? Like if I wait longer and longer and longer, which is clearly now I'm saying it sounds daft, but yeah,
no. You have a good point.
And you're like, cool, man, want to get the kills, right?
You have a good point. So for now, I'll take it for granted when I say you will always the window of opportunity is always going to be bigger than you think.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And the second part to that is even if you miss your window of opportunity, it's better than going without a plan, because if you go without a plan, there is no opportunity. It doesn't exist because we have no idea what we're doing.
Than it was. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So the idea is you have to wait until you can find it, right? You don't have to find the best one. You don't have to find the fastest one. You have to find one that works. Right? That's the only one you care about, is one that can work.
I prefer the easy way. I don't want to do like, don't get me wrong, right? I don't really care about making the amazing plays. I just want to do the bog
true
fundamentals. That works. Boom, boom, boom. And that like, because in most of the competitive games I played, you stick to the fundamentals, you're going to climb. You're going to get
right.
diamond. And so many people don't know how to just do the fundamentals, right?
Especially in StarCraft, right? You have players who just go for one-dimensional cheese. It doesn't work. They don't know what to do after. It really is the same idea, right? Because if we want to examine this, okay, we have a window of opportunity here. They're distracted because they see earlier respawning. We can go now. This is a window, okay? She's dying. We can go now because.
So this doesn't apply with man disadvantage here, right?
Okay. So this is an exception to the rule, right? And the reason being is because we have a plan that can beat their man advantage, right? Which is our 6 hits through the backline is beating the man advantage, right? We'll say. And the reason being is we can insta kill.
Twitch feel a bit more like, I've been playing Lucian recently. I've been like, Lucian, like there's so much way to like get someone off you, like he's amazing to like kite with, Lucian. And I've been feeling like, but as in the fact. I'll get my words together. Like Twitch was a bit one-dimensional for me, but now I know this is now an option. It opens up a load more other options when I'm playing Twitch now, rather than just straight up ulting, right? So,
right, exactly. Always, it's better to wait. When in doubt, wait. Okay. When in doubt, I don't even press Q. Okay, because if you press Q and you can't find something in that time frame when you're invisible, you don't have it anymore, right?
I'm sort of doing Q a little bit automatic at the moment. I've got to like work on that because.
Right.
As soon as the fight starts, I'm just pressing Q, which I need to sort of.
Exactly.
It's a bad habit, right?
It is a bad habit. It is a bad habit. If we want to talk about opportunities, when Bard goes for them, that's also an opportunity. That's another like 4 seconds on the table where you can think, right? So there's a lot of time here. So that's why we're always saying something like, take your time. There's no rush. I promise you, there's no rush, right? Your whole team can die. Yeah, your whole team can die. Still no rush. They're gonna 5-man run to Baron or end. You can still get behind them, right? It's just if we rush and it doesn't work, there's no opportunity since it's already over, right? Our ulti's done. So that's kind of the big idea. Do you want to see another Twitch game or a Lucian game? Do you think?
Can you go along? Go to the very most recent ones.
This one.
It's that one. That's the Lucian game. That I felt like. I mean, this would be better because I don't feel as comfortable on Lucian as I do on Twitch. So you can be a bit more generic in this. But I mean, I could tell you now, I don't die all game.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's yeah.
That's really good. Let's fast forward to mid game then. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Like I say, I'm quite happy with my like. If you was to ask me what I'm most confident in, it is my laning. I'm quite happy to chill, relax, sit under turret. I rarely fall behind. It's amazing how little you do fall behind on CS if you just relax.
right, right.
This rank anyway, like you sometimes you feel like you're losing. You look at CS, you're like 15, 20 CS down, which is sorry.
It's not bad. It's like CS is not gonna matter, right? It's when people suicide and stuff is the problem. It looks like this game is donezo though already.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
There's not much you can do.
Right. Okay. Okay.
In games like this, don't worry about it. You don't care about
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. Alright,
yeah. These are the edge cases. Your team's literally this is over, right? There's nothing you can do.
this is
All you
just
care about is practicing, right?
Aatrox
Right,
support,
right,
right?
right.
He does, man, and
Right. Don't worry about stuff
he
like
does,
this,
right?
right?
It's crazy.
We can watch it fight for argument's sake. Well, for
It
example's
just
sake, I
feels
guess.
like I should be able to carry it because I'm by far and away ahead. Like even on the other, if you look at the other, no, you can't. I feel ahead of everyone on the other team as well, you know. But some shit you just can't carry, right?
Right. Sometimes, yeah, don't worry about it. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Remember, man advantage is the most important thing. It doesn't matter how strong you are unless you can figure out a specific play, right? That can win out, right? So even if you're strong on Twitch, which you were, it doesn't matter. You know, you can beat man advantage, but if you can't figure out how, it doesn't even matter, right? So
Lucy's not the same as that though, really. Lucy's not really a champ you can beat man advantage with, is he?
he is definitely a champion. You can beat man advantage, but the mechanical plan is a lot harder because you have all these abilities, right? Twitch is like we said, Twitch you can just press R, right click, and then you know ready your flash and hover over to the side, right?
But it is fun just pressing R and watching.
Right, yeah, I love that part too. But Lucian is definitely more involved, right? Because you can use your flash to dodge an ability, but you can also use your dash.
Which is nice. Like Twitch doesn't really do that, so it's nice to play Lucian and have your mechanical skill. Because I've done some funky ults, man, in the heat of the moment, you know, firing the wrong way and stuff. But
oh no,
I mean that dashing, I probably shouldn't have done that, right? Or...
Right. Honestly, I mean, this is winning because you know why do you think this is winning? Even though we play this kind of not optimally.
Well, man advantage, right?
Yes, that's the first thing that's the only thing you care about, really. That's literally the only thing you care about is man advantage or someone insta dies. Right.
Can I ask you another question? Sorry, interrupting you. The Essence Reaver, right? I've read the description on it. Like, what is the synergy with his ultimate that I should be looking out for? Like the passive on it. How can I sort of exploit that? Because I tend to find like I don't really get the usage out of it because the fight I start, I won't ult, right? So I'll Q, I'll W, I'll E, and then the fight might be over and I'll ult someone down. And like, of course, that's like fine if we win the fight, but where's the opportunity with using the ult and the passive for the 6 seconds after? Is there any sort of, should I be worrying about that at the moment?
So if there's an all-in going on and you need to do maximum theoretical damage, you can throw your ulti or using your ulti to snipe someone honestly, don't worry about getting essence Reaver value. You care about ulti value. Right, and then the Essence Reaver value will be afterwards when you're in auto attack range or something like that. So
ulti's just for staying in the safe range and getting damage off, right? Is that use of it really and chasing people down?
Okay, let's say value can be interpreted in different ways, right? But let's say, for argument's sake, there's a Mundo, and they have an Annie, right? And there's always a Mundo, true. But if you use your full ulti on Mundo, how good is that?
No, it's pointless. He's just gonna stand there.
It's like
you, right?
Maybe the value is maybe 0, maybe slightly positive, right? When we're talking about negative, 0, or positive, it's like barely okay, if that, right? What if you use the full ulti on Annie?
Yeah, I mean, you're laughing then, right? That's
extremely good, right? Yeah, you're just probably killing her straight up, right? So when there's always a question about value. It's wait until you can find a good opportunity to use it, right? For a good value.
For duel, right? Ulti's more for you wouldn't use your ulti in a duel, would you? Unless you could. Else is on cooldown.
Right, you could. let's say you can lead with ulti. You know, Essence Reaver lets you lead with it and then use all your
I
abilities
suppose like
afterwards,
that,
right?
yeah.
Or you can finish with it. You can hard trade and then maybe
Well,
dash out an
sorry, so
ulti.
say like I was dueling Draven, you wouldn't really want to ulti him, right?
Well, let's say he's chasing you. You can ulti before and then go in.
Yeah. In that case,
Because
yeah,
you can't
But
ulti
then, like,
afterwards. He's
the sort
killing
of
you.
standard toe to toe. It's like it's much better to Q, you get your double auto off, W, get your double auto off, E, get your double auto off, right? Than it is
Right.
to just because in the time you cast the ulti, that's not doing more damage than QWE and the 6 auto.
Right.
Attacks, is it?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So that's how I should have phrased the question. Yeah.
Right. It's you're losing value because you could be doing something else, right? You would want to ulti when he's out of range.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would be best value, we would say. But yeah, it seems like this game is pretty much done so. But
Okay,
I think Lucian is a champion that is good in the meta, right? But you're gonna suffer the exact same problems you had with your Twitch game in terms of when it comes to team fighting. He's not an easy champion to team fight with, I believe, right? In my opinion, right? But you could do just fine just hitting the closest guy, I think. I think here we're doing really good. I don't know what's going on actually. Let's take a look. These fights have been going really well, you know, solely because you've always had more people, right? That's really all you care about. But if we were to say, you know, how do we push out more value? It's always auto attack cancel, right? Something like that. Or know your instant burst combo, right? So we have no problems generating income. It's winning the game.
That's what I mean. I feel like, yeah.
Right. I agree.
Often at the end of the game, in 40 minutes, I've got nothing else to buy. And I'm still losing. And I think, oh, it's kind of annoying, you know, like, because the games go on so long.
I agree.
Seemingly, it may not be the case. I'd have to, like, look at the stats, right? But it does feel a lot of the time I'm, like, 4 or 5 items and not carrying as such.
So, yeah, a lot of these fights, it seems like... it seems so strange because, you know, you can take these fights when you're super far ahead, but you just have to know how, right? And that's not like a fundamental you need is, oh, how do I beat man advantage? You know, the answer is you don't, right? That's not something you need to learn to consistently win games, right? This is a game I wouldn't worry about, right?
Okay, cool,
The other games, it's definitely something along the lines of, in team fights, we need to carry these fights, right? Let's take a look at another one.
Cool. There is a couple of like 1-minute clips. I just wanted your opinion on this.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can take a look at those too.
Yeah, like them 4. So they're like 1 minute or so. It's just that, like, forgive where I've started them. If you could just comment on the actual fight.
Oh, this is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's like I waited, right? I felt like I waited. Like, don't get me wrong, I wasn't like absolutely knowing exactly what's going on, but I saw Shyvana ult. I thought, yeah, no, I can go in now, you know. And then out of nowhere, Diana just boom.
So this is the same thing as Kazakh Strangler, Talon, Camille, Fizz, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. So when there's a champion on the other team that they hit you with this ability, you die. So name 3 off the top of your head.
On this team at the moment?
Yes, any in your league career. What is 3 most aggravating?
Wow, Fizz ult, damn.
Right.
Thing, man.
Agreed.
Yeah, Fizz ult, what else? Z ult.
Agreed.
I mean, if Garen gets anywhere near you, you're screwed as Twitch.
Okay, so that's 3 right there, right? So Garen ulti, Z ulti, Fizz ulti. Okay, so how do you stop them from using it on you?
Well, the most obvious answer to me is wait for them to use it on someone else, right?
Right, or maybe you have to be out of range or whatever, or something like that. So let's say Dan is over this wall, for argument's sake. Can you ever auto attack someone here?
If she's over the wall and the plant's up, no.
Right. No, the plant doesn't have to be up, right? Let's say you're Diana. Is there a way for you to kill Twitch if he auto attacks?
I'm not totally familiar with. Like I say, I sort of gave up. Not gave up. I didn't play League for 2 years. I only just come back this season. I know Diana's not a new champ, but I'm a little bit down on some of my knowledge of some of the champs. I know she's got a dash, but surely that's only when the Q hits you, right?
Fair enough. But she can. It's basically she has a dash, and if she uses it on someone who she uses the Q on, it gets reset. So then she has 2,
so it's got,
right? So she
okay.
starts with 1, right? So if she's over the wall, she can just flash ulti you, and then you're just dead, right?
Dead,
So what's the solution? Okay, you just wait until she uses on someone else, right? That's it.
Yeah.
And then you say, well, isn't this fight 4v4? It is, right? Okay, how do you help out? Well, if you start hitting people and you're out of range of her flash, then you're helping, and she's not helping, right? So that's the idea, is you need to make sure that you're not in range, because what happens when they can't find good value and you're just chipping away at the front line? It's 5v4, like straight up, right? And then maybe she ultis in because she gets tired of waiting, and then she goes for Jax or something. And all of a sudden you press R. Who's got more value? You or her, right? You're winning. You guys are clearly winning, right? Exactly. So the solution is always make sure you internalize that they're gonna kill you if you show up, and then make sure that you either wait it out or you outrange it.
I probably should
and
have
you're good to go.
Fiddle's ult to go off, right? Oh.
All right, you just have to wait. It's just you went too early, right? It's very much whenever there's team fight proms and you die, insta die, it's because you didn't wait long enough, right? You'll never, like, I have not seen a clip in like 100 clips where they waited too long.
Right. Okay.
Right. It's always you made the mistake because you went too early, or you didn't think it through enough and then you died, right? Anything along those lines. I promise you will not miss your window of opportunity. No. Okay, this is a free kill. You don't have to do anything here.
No, but I just wanted to ask you, just like, not this exact situation, but like this sort of stuff happen, right? And,
right.
Do you
that was insane.
Too far back to follow up? Like,
no, of course not, right?
Is me ulting and getting them, and that's the difference within the team fight. Do I need to be a little bit further forward?
No, not at all.
You need too passive.
Let's say you're close enough to help, right? And then that's one thing. Okay, you helped out with this. They were dying anyways, but you helped out with this. 5 assists, sure. Let's say that they didn't land this and you're far forward, and then they find and engage on you. Your whole team loses because you got caught, right? So what's the difference is that in this scenario you didn't even need to help anyways, but you're kind of risking something for nothing. Right.
So the question is, you was happy with my positioning?
Right. This is good. This is 10 out of 10, right? We would rather have this than somehow dying, right? And the reasoning is that, what if you needed 1 auto attack to kill all these guys? You don't really have to kill them to get an advantage. So let's say you guys took out their health, they had the base, you guys got a tower, you guys are already happy, right? Or you guys get Baron because they have the base, right? There's no reason to kind of...
Yeah, it's too absolute, right? In Silver League,
right. They're gonna die. They're. Don't worry about it. It's already a good outcome. We don't have to kind of mess it up if there's an opportunity. What's going on here? You have to Zed ulti here. So if you come out here, you're gonna die to Zed ulti.
Yeah, I do.
Right. So same thing. The same thing. You already know. It's all these clips.
I saw Fiddle ulti and I thought, well, I'll go. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Right. It's like.
I feel like sometimes I need to have 2 things to look out for, rather than just one.
You need to make sure that none of the things can get to you, right? If even one of them does, then it's all over, right? It's a game between you and the people who can get you, and if they can't get you, you automatically win the fight, for example, right? Usually speaking. Okay, what's going on here? We just go invisible. We can kill Caitlyn, sure. We can even aim Zed here, but I think your team is just losing. There's not much you can do. Oh, you can aim Zed here. You can win this. Oh no! Who did we aim here? No, you hit the wrong person, right?
Yeah, I didn't even see the Zed over the wall. I got a bit tunnel vision at times in games. I need to. That's another mechanic, I suppose. I need to work on, right? Be a bit more.
All right, so this is
what's going on.
So this is if we want to help you in terms of fighting stuff. Okay, if we're playing Twitch, the thing you watch out for in fights before you come out of stealth is who's gonna kill you when you come out of stealth, and then those are the people you want to look at. That's it. And then right, and then once they're done using their thing, or you can kill them, then you go on that, right? That's how we knew we can just kill the Zed, is because he used his ulti, and then you just auto attack him, he dies, right? And then how come this is winning? You used your Q to kill someone. You use their Q to kill their mid laner. That's really good, right? You can even base, come back, ulti these guys if you want. But the reason why we kind of die here is because we were hitting Rammus, they got close, and Zed even got to hit us somehow, right?
So, I feel like I'm exercising patience, which I never did before. but I'm not being patient enough still. You know, I still need to be more patient.
Right, right. Even more is better. You want to be
Yeah,
more patient than not patient enough. So this is really good. I think that the issue with the plan was that
it was the wind wall, man. That Yasuo wind wall. That's
what
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 started to be pathing me off over this way, right?
what was in terms of when we talk about when we're playing Twitch, we have two parts to the plan when you come out of stealth. The people you can hit and make sure that you know what's coming out, what's gonna happen when you come out of stealth, right? So here the plan is we're gonna kill Ziggs.
Yeah,
Right.
see,
6 hits and he
my
dies.
problem is
Right.
I'm a bit more. I just see the health bars and go for the cluster, like
Right, don't
sort
do that.
of-
Don't do that. That's
No,
like a
yeah,
trap. It's like
Right,
sometimes
okay.
it'll work out, but and oftentimes aiming for the HP bars can be good, but you want to make sure that your
Killing people, right?
right. You want to make sure that your plays are
Yeah.
good, right? The reason why this is not good is because there's how do we know who we want to target in this cluster? We don't, right? Versus we can kill a carry right here. It's a really easy choice. Do we kill a carry or we don't know what's going on over here, right?
In the
So
light of day, it seems obvious.
right. So this is just one of those we kind of I'm not sure what the plan was, right? Because you try to do something, it didn't work out, and then you try to do something else, right? But I don't think either parts of this plan were thought. Right? Yeah, exactly.
No,
so
it's a fair thing,
let's say, for example, we're gonna come out of stealth, we're gonna hit this guy, 6 hits, you kill him. Let's say for argument's sake, what is he gonna do?
I don't even need to ult him, really.
Right. What is he gonna do?
He's gonna throw his satchel patch at you. Really, that's like he's probably gonna throw satchel patch and ult you, right? So
same thing. We just press R, right click, ready our flash.
right, okay.
It throws a satchel patch, we flash.
Is it worth R in Ziggs is basically their ADC here because fuck this meta, but yeah, he's their ADC here. It's obviously he's not building AD, but so
they're
it's
bot
fine
laner,
to
I
just
guess.
ult Ziggs, and kill Ziggs even. I just like I sort of have a problem with it with like I feel like if I ult and I get like 4 attacks off when Ziggs is dead, and then I waste the other 2. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking, how am I going to kill Jax, Garen?
Let's say use your ulti, kill Ziggs. Let's say you use your ulti insta kill Ziggs. Okay, what's going on with the team fight numbers?
Yeah.
It's 5v4, right? Automatically winning. Yeah. So that's the idea. Yeah. Using your ulti to kill someone is good outcome, right?
Well, I like that.
Generally speaking.
That's another fundamental. So like, yeah, so just do your best to make it an outnumbered fight, right? Is that the sort of
all right? Essentially, it's like using your ulti for best value, right?
Yeah.
And the bigger the value, the more people you're worth. Is kind of the idea. So if you have such insane value, you're worth like 3 people, you kind of have some strange man advantage going on, right? Or something like that. But that's kind of the idea, is that if you can use your ulti to kill someone in the backline, that's worth, right? Let's watch some more fights before we wrap it up. But I think that is the meat of your problems, is that when it comes to these fights, we can't kind of having a problem sealing the deal. I think.
That's absolutely, honestly, mate. That is absolutely like that's what it feels like. It feels like I seem to have it all, like try not to make a euphemism, but like I shoot my load early, it's gone, right? And then at the end, there's nothing left. If you know what I mean. Sorry.
Right.
It down a bit, but yeah.
Let's see what's going on. What happened to our ulti here? Did we kill someone? I think we killed someone. This is good. This is good usage, I would say, right? Very nice usage. You use your ulti to kill someone.
Okay.
Let's see in these fights. We're pushing down tower. Good. Team is doing some strange things here.
I'm gonna miss silver if I ever get back into gold, man.
You're not gonna miss it, trust me. You're gonna have a whole load of new problems when you just change ranks. Oh man, these games are so strange. Basically, it's about can you outfight the other people at this rank is essentially what's going on here. And when it comes to outfighting them for Twitch, it was, can we not get caught by the enemy abilities, and can we find our 6 hits on the backline guy, right?
Yeah.
Or when in doubt, don't use anything and just hit the closest guy. if it's
Yeah,
safe, right?
So you're either going or you're not. Not this halfway house shit that I'm doing where I don't really know what I'm doing, so I just and
Right.
I get
It's
what
like,
you mean.
how do you know this is good? If you can land your full ulti on her, you could say that's good, but we didn't really know we could land it. Plus, I think we have some kind of man disadvantage going on here, right?
I think I fucked with the mechanics up there anyway. I didn't mean to ult in that direction. It was a little bit off key.
All right, so I think you have the not dying part down really good. It's just in fights, I think things can go awry, right?
I'm glad you said, because that's giving me a bit of confidence. Because I've got to be honest, I know you shouldn't listen to people in your thing, yeah, but like, I'm often getting pinged, like, "Where are you, man? Why aren't you helping? Why are you backing off? Why did you walk away?" And I walk away it's like I'm not. It's not all about KDA, right? But
It's not.
I tend to have a good KDA all the time, so something's right, isn't it? If that's good. And then when you get people saying, "Oh no, you should be engaging more," and it's like, what, to die? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
all right, don't listen to those people. You don't want to listen to those people. They don't know what they're talking about. So
like, yeah, we could get killed. The amount of time since I've watched some of yours and you said about hitting turrets, right? And I've basically stopped doing it, right? And the amount of times you saved me, man, just with that one bit of advice, like today, it was twice. Like,
that's good.
Pinging the turret like crazy, and like mid lane is missing, jungle, you can't see them. Next thing, she's dead. Do you know what I mean? Then it's my fault, right? We could have got that turret. No, we couldn't have got the turret.
No. That's not a thing. Man, what is going on in these games? It's just people randomly die and then
I honestly feel this is every game
so
for me, man. Like,
if this is every game for you, right? Or if that's the feeling, then the best thing you can do is hold on to everything for maximum value. Okay, so when it comes to these kind of situations, when you're holding the door, team is dead, you're trying to prevent them from getting more stuff. You don't want to use any abilities, right, until you know for sure for the reason it's maximum value.
I don't know, like, if I use my ult, they might back off, but give me some time for my teammates to get back up. But yeah.
Right, but I think we're kind of missing opportunities, right?
Yeah.
It could be a fat ulti here, maybe, for example, like full combo on one of these guys into an ulti could be winning, for example. Let me see what's going on in these. Yeah, it seems like your team is just getting rolled in these games, though. I think you. Seems like these replays. Games, right. Okay, these games are so far gone. Like, by the time you get out of laning phase, like, let's take a look. Like, by the time you get out of laning phase, it's like, let me see if we can see the scoreboard. Fast forward. Let me see. Here we go. Oh, your Talon's actually so far ahead. Wait, what happened in this game? Top is getting rolled though, which is kind of awkward. Let's fast forward. I think they got Rift Arrow. People died. Oh, I think we died too, actually. This is one of those things where if there's a problem in the laning phase, this is it.
Yeah, Shaka,
right? Because they're gonna take that lead and they're gonna go everywhere else. So you could actually say this is kind of this is a game where maybe laning could have been better too, but it's not so bad that we should automatically lose off it, right?
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Exactly that. Like, I don't feel like I've fed the jungler to the point that, don't get me wrong, any kill to a Shaco is worth like 2 or 3, right? But
right.
But I don't feel like I'm that far behind. Certainly not the other AD either, you know.
Right. So in terms of how come we have no impact in this game? It's partially our build kind of quite doesn't make sense, and I think the fighting could be improved. So for Lucian,
easy fix, right? A build. I mean,
right.
There's no mechanics involved in that. So,
basically, you just go Blade the Ring King and Black Cleaver always. First 2 items. Yeah, Essence Reaver third, right? Because
I've been going Essence Reaver first.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not what you want to do. Because okay, let's start. So if we want to do it logically, we don't really have any sustain. So if we do any trades, it's not really in our favor. We don't have any catch, right? So our all-in is not as good, right? When it comes to how can we get value out of our Essence Reaver? Okay, if you have a really sick ulti, it can be really good, but that's not consistent. You can't just always formulate a way to get a fat ulti into an all-in.
Sorry, right? The reason it's just for the mana.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
it's
you
just
don't
cheaper, just spam abilities, right?
right.
With
That's the
SFC,
idea
but
is that we don't want to spam abilities, right? We only
yeah,
care about
yeah,
good
yeah.
value. We
Fair
only care
point.
about
Yeah,
good
yeah,
value.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you dash here, oh you got him. So yeah, these games seem super far gone, but yeah, you definitely want to go play the ranking first because if you
Okay.
don't, you have like no impact in the
Well,
game,
unless
right?
like I got Raka or Nami, right?
I didn't even know that. No. Always play the ranking. Always.
Okay.
So if we're talking about let's do some practice tour real quick to uh make sure that we know kind of what we're doing on Lucian because I think that's something you'd still want to play, right? Lucian and Twitch mostly.
Yeah.
So
Lucian, Twitch, yeah.
you don't really know. You don't really need as much help or if any help on Twitch, but it's mostly about you know the brain stuff, right? Don't use your Q unless you know you're gonna get a reset. Formulate your plan so you're gonna kill someone and you can beat them when you come out of stealth, right? When you come out of stealth, what are they gonna do? You can beat that, right? That's it. First two things for Twitch.
After this, man. Yeah.
That's for fights, right? And I think if you can do that with the amount of money you have, you're gonna win your games as Twitch because that's pretty much you got all the money on Twitch, and then we die, right? I think that was the story. In the fights.
Absolutely. And the
For
problem is once you start, even in this rank, right? Once you start deleting people, they focus. I mean, I've had 3-4 people flash on me, you know.
right. That's very much related to knowing what they can do when you come out of stealth, right? It's because of course they're gonna target you, right? That's exactly what you would do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this is what you should do before you go into your game's resolution. Pretty much every day until you can do this like without thinking,
okay,
right?
yeah.
Are these combos, right? When it comes to Lucian, you need to know these certain let me what's it called? How do I teleport? Where is this? Here we go. And then we have our dummies, right? You just spawn.
I didn't realize you could do all of this, man. Holy moly.
So you wanna do this, okay? Until you've got it down, right? So you know all about like Lucian auto attack cancels, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So the idea is you want to fit an auto in before you cast an ability, right? So how fast can we do this? Wait, let me auto refresh. Right? That's basically good value, you would say. Is auto attack cancel something, right? Same thing with your W. Wow, this is not smart casted. Same thing with your W, right? So the question is, if you have this build and you see an Ezreal, how do you full to zero him? Do you know?
Do you want to slow him immediately with the Bork?
No, you just want to kill him as fast as you possible.
Oh, sorry, right. So just the highest DPS.
Right.
Well, you don't want to Q till he E's, right?
Okay, let's just say this is a target dummy, backline Soraka, whatever.
Stationary target,
Right.
Yeah, so from what you just said, you want to auto Q, 2 autos W, 2 autos E, right?
Okay, so let's see. So that's okay, but we could say not optimal, right?
Okay.
So tell me if there's a difference between that and this, right?
Yeah, 700 damage, right? Or more, 1100.
In terms of how long it took. Let's do it again. Hold on. So we're gonna auto attack cancel all our abilities with Q, W, and then E, right? Versus we're gonna do the same thing except in a different order. Right? It's like half the time. You know what I mean? So
Sorry,
what you want to do?
Explain fully to me what you're actually doing, though.
So when you want to, the value is really interesting because Lucian's abilities can get higher value if you can cancel them more. And what we mean by cancel is being able to do something.
Do you mean he's double passive? You can cancel that.
No. In terms of, can you cancel your downtime? I guess cut down your downtime, right? So when we're doing something like, there's like a lot of downtime, you could say, right? Or just doing this and then queuing, right? There's a lot of downtime. But what if you could combine it, right? Or sorry, I messed that up. You can actually queue while your double shot is coming out. Right. So
see, I was waiting because I was worried that if I E and then I Q, I felt like I'd missed the double shot, but you don't, right?
That's why you need to practice, use it in practice too.
Sorry, let me ask it this way then. If you E and then press Q, Like, how quick do
Right.
you have to do it to actually cancel the passive, or will it not cancel it? He will always do his double. Is his double shot always going to happen, or can you
It's
actually, as in, cancel the damage?
you. Okay, so the idea is as your 2 shots are coming out. So this is the regular, right? As your 2 shots are coming out, you also want to press Q. Well,
Yeah,
so
I
I
need
messed
to
it up
practice
there,
this.
right?
Yeah.
But you need to be able to do this. Otherwise, how can you kill someone, right? You can't really. How do you team fight against the Mundo when you need to get 5 stacks against them immediately, right? And that's also related to your Essence Reaver because you need to be able to do this except like 5 times in like 2 seconds, which is insane. Because I don't even know how to do that yet. We don't even practice this, but this is the basic idea: is how do we fit in as much damage as possible. So you need to be able to go into your practice tool and practice against the practice dummy so you can do it in game without having to think about it, right? So you have the right idea when we want to auto attack cancel your Q, but we also want to cancel the downtime of using it, right? So you can only cancel it using dash, right? So we'll say something like use your E and then your Q immediately. That's your fastest burst combo.
Right, okay, E
right?
and then Q. So you sort of lead him with E then?
Well, you want to lead with an auto attack canceled E, right? It can't just be a regular dash unless they're already low, right? So this is just the mechanics portion, but it's super necessary to carry these fights, I think, because if you can do this in team fights, then with the money you have, you're definitely gonna be able to kill everyone, right?
Yeah, I mean,
should be no problem.
Yeah. I mean, like sometimes, like you will see people's health delete as Lucian, right? And that might be me sort of doing it without actually realizing.
And this is
So if I consciously do this,
this is the problem here is that when they had like a person here, right? This is a misfortune, right? Misfortune. It's the same amount of health. It's like we can one shot her, right? And we were in this position, we could have killed her, right? That's the idea. So how do we do it? Well, if we remember our combo, right? We can try something like auto attack, but that's not exactly gonna kill her, right? We're off by a little bit. So we throw in a W first, and then you can do it, right? Or you can even do something like lead with ulti, and then you can throw your W and do it, right? So that's kind of, you need to practice this kind of killing combo on Lucian. How much damage can you put out? And then once you got that down, right, you can do this over and over again. Because if you can't do this, then when it comes to a fight, then it's really hard to play as Lucian, right?
Because it becomes muscle memory, right? If you
It really is muscle memory, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think what it is I was waiting for the 2 passive shots to. I was sort of fearful I was going to waste, like, not. Like cancel them, and when I say cancel them, I mean cancel the damage, right?
Right.
Do you understand what I mean when I say that?
I got you.
I was waiting to see them come out. I didn't realize there was the technique that,
Which is why, this is why that if there's ever a mechanical champion that I'm trying to learn, I always go into practice tool first. Otherwise, you're definitely gonna screw it up in game, right?
Yeah, you're not.
So that's the idea.
Chance to win, right? Yeah.
Right. But also, you can't even practice in game if it's not down in practice. And then this is like extra stuff you don't really want to worry about yet, but this is why we get Essence Reaver, right? Is how many times can you use your abilities in a fight? Well, if you use all your basics and then you ulti,
it gets. Yeah,
right? You can use it like a million times, right? You use the killing combo like 5 times, right? Is the idea. But the first point is that we need to be able to use this combo in the first place, right? So that's the thing I think you should practice if you're gonna play more Lucian is how do we put out damage? So when you say, okay, we want to fight, okay, how do we do it, right? We want to all in him here. So know that you want to cancel your Q as you're dashing, right? And then you can like throw your W before or after. It doesn't matter as much. But this idea of auto canceling is super important.
More,
right, exactly. And don't worry about the Essence Reaver stuff. Like that's too crazy, honestly. Like it makes your late game extremely good, but you don't want to really work on that. Just work on this stuff because if you do get the Essence Reaver going, it's still the same thing you're gonna be doing. Is the same pattern,
just
right?
More of it,
so that's kind of the idea you want to be looking at. So for you, I think in fights as Twitch, I think helps a lot. Is
sorry that you cut out there. Sorry, I think.
Oh yeah, I think Discord is being weird, but when in these fights as Twitch, what you want to make sure you're doing is you're waiting longer and you have the first two parts of your plan down. Okay.
Yeah. No.
You
I've got you. Yeah.
can you kill someone and this is like for assassinating backline, right? Can you kill someone and are you ready to beat whatever they throw at you when you come out of stealth? Right. So if it's Malphite ult,
So have I got flash basically?
you need flash. Right. Do you have
Yeah.
flash? I guess. No flash and they have Malphite ult, you can't do it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how juicy it is. It's impossible.
Unless he uses ult, right? Unless you get super.
Oh,
lucky,
yeah.
he uses ult, and then you're like, right now.
Of course.
I see
Of
what you mean.
course.
So you're sort of managing like possibilities, right? So you're sort of looking at right. Yeah. I'll get you.
Right. You basically covered all your options, right? If they do this, we do this, right? So I think that it seems like you've been doing really well recently, right?
But I gotta be honest. You know when you know like I tanked really bad recently. I had like some really long loss streaks, like 8 games on the row and shit. And rather than like doing the sensible thing, getting up and walking away, and I don't know, going to the shop and I don't know, play something else, you know, it's like no, man. I
Gotta play some more.
I'm not going to bed till I've won, you know.
Oh God, no, I know what you mean.
Man. And then you wake up the next day and it's like, fuck that game, man. I'll play StarCraft again, go beat some noob because I know I'm good at it. You know, it's no. I'm over that now. I'm sort of learning like little techniques to manage my
It's good that you're playing the same champions over and over again though. That's actually really helpful for improving. Right, because if you play, look at the just small Lucian mechanic we're doing, it'd be really hard to transfer that to something else, like a different champion, right? So this is good. This is good.
Like when I first started playing, but way back, I was just playing any lane. I mean, I remember the days when you never had this shiz where you were told what pick you were, right? It was if you're top of the draft, you pick what you want, right? And
that's right.
Support and all that craziness, right? So sometimes you didn't get what you wanted, right? So you did sort of have to, in them days, play a bit more different roles and stuff. But yeah, nowadays, like I mean, look, 400 games on Twitch, man. It's I love Twitch though, you know.
I got you. Me too, dude. So yeah, actually, I definitely change up your build order too. I think that's actually hindering you a lot.
Yeah, I'm doing Essence Reaver first.
You can't do anything with Essence Reaver first. Yeah.
Man. Okay, right. So can I just ask? So, 2 questions on builds, right? So one on Lucian. So Bork first, right?
Right. Always just go Blade of the Ring King Black Cleaver. Always, just always. Okay, no exceptions.
Easy. And
all right.
Twitch, I've been having so much success with this new Storm Reaver thing.
Yeah, Storm Razor or whatever. Honestly, I prefer Blade the Ring King, but if you think it's working really well, right.
It's so unexpected, like on the squishies when you come out of stealth with that auto crit, man. It just chunks people, man. But okay, so all right, because that is the relationship that I don't really understand, that the lifesteal options. I don't really get the difference between them. I mean, I know that Bloodthirst is probably for burst. Is that right? Or?
So okay, the way lifesteal kind of works is that lifesteal is very good against sustained damage, right? So what we mean by that is, let's say 2 AD carriers are hitting each other, right? Yeah. We'll say that's sustained damage. The one with the lifesteal wins.
Right. Yeah.
So when we were talking about lifesteal, the lifesteal options nowadays are kind of different. And that this thing gives you a shield, so it's good for sustain and some kind of poke, I guess. Right. That stance is good against burst, right? Because it prevents you from dying immediately. And Merc Treads helps you versus something like Leona ulti, right, or something like that. So honestly, when in doubt, you should just get Death Stance, but.
Death Stance. So I am supposed to. It wasn't like. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. And it's okay to sell my boots, right? I've been doing that. So much money, man.
If you have 6 items, at the end of the game. Yeah, you can sell boots for Phantom Dancer. Honestly, if you have so much money, go for it. But the reason why we say Death Stance is really good is because as a human player, this can be technically sustained, but he can kill you so fast before you can react. It's burst to humans,
cool.
right?
Stance, right. So I wouldn't go Death Stance first on Twitch though, right?
No. It's always just do Blade the Ring King Runons on Twitch, or if you really like Stormrazor Runons, right? But honestly, regarding Twitch, don't worry about the build as much as the team fighting stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like you're just slaughtering everyone in the beginning, and then later in the game we don't really do as much as we should, right? So
I'm a bit fearful. It's just fear. I need to get over my fear, really. And I think with what you're saying, getting into positions where I'm deleting 3 people and realizing what I can actually do on him if I don't stand in front of Mundo and Alt Mundo, I think that'll help me build confidence, and I'll be eager to try new things, you know, rather than because I sort of feel I wasn't really trying anything new with Twitch, which is why I moved to Lucian. Because
right,
but with what you've said, yeah, if I try and get round the back line or whatever and try and like take 2 or 3 of them out,
right.
Right?
The Twitch fundamental that'll help the most is just wait longer until your opportunity can be calculated.
Yeah,
right? Until you can
I've got you.
thoroughly think it through, and then once you do the play and then you go back and you watch it, ask yourself, did it go according to plan? Right? It didn't go according to plan, and here's the reason why, and then you can factor it in for the next time you do your plan, right?
Okay,
it'll be super easy. Once you do it 10 times in a row, it'll be the next 10 times will be even faster. You can, yeah, exactly. It's all about building good habits, right? Internalizing this information and then being able to execute on it is how we kind of reproduce the same thing, right? How do we reproduce assassinating a backline? Oh, we know it always works because of this, right? So that's what I think that would kind of help you the most. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Thanks ever so much, man. It's just nice to get the. It's nice to hear that I'm not totally lost, right? Because
definitely not.
When you're on a tilt and you falling down ranks and stuff, you can feel a bit lost with the game, you know. And so yeah, cool. Thanks a lot.
100%. Focus on. Don't worry about anything like gold generation or anything like that. Focus on these team fights and figuring out. Okay, how do you win this fight, or why did you die in this fight? Are the 2 questions you want to look at in all your games, because that's pretty much the only reason why you're losing is so much money. Somehow we lose, right? So that's what am I doing, man? So much money is crazy. So it's really good. You got the step that most people can't even do, right? Now it's about closing it out, and I think if it was a different meta, it would be a lot easier for you. But this meta is, pretty challenging for closing games out as AD carry. So the build will definitely help if you're still playing Lucian. But yeah, that's definitely what I think.
Yeah,
you should
I only
look
really
at.
sort of play Twitch now if I think I'll play Twitch like 25% of my games now, just because of the way it is. It's just there's so many opportunities for you to be deleted as Twitch, right? Especially if you ain't got Flash.
You can even go Guardian Angel third if you want to say something like, we're going to 6-shot the back line, and then when we die we flash out, and then that's man advantage.
Sorry, I know I'm dragging this on, but the
no, you're
Guardian
good.
Angel, 2 other items. So what would the 2 other items be?
Okay, since you get there pretty often, I guess we can go over this. So something like Blade the Ring King Runons and GA, right, would be pretty good.
So that's really good to go on them 3 items, yeah? I can start getting a bit... Okay.
Right, by that time the game should be over, but let's say for argument's sake it's not. Anything like situational items, like the Maul you got against Diana, is really good, right? Anything like you really need more damage, you can go Infinity Edge. Something like I've seen Stormrazor like 4th item, which is interesting. But you can even do something like that. Maybe you have a team full of damage. Let's see. This is a team full of damage, right? You have a team full of damage. Maybe you can go, what's it called? Frozen Mallet, right? And then all of a sudden you always have red buff on.
Wow,
in a sense, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've never built that. Right, okay.
As long as you can reason it out, you're good to go. But honestly, you don't really have any problems with builds as Twitch from what I'm seeing, right? It's very much
Lucian,
definitely Lucian though. Definitely that actually makes a difference. With Twitch, it seems like you're doing fine. Don't worry about that as much, right? It's just the way you're playing it now that you have these items is what you need to look at. With Lucian, definitely kind of both, but the items are preventing you, right? Exactly. So we wouldn't worry about that as much. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about the builds. Like you have the right idea. Like Maul against Eve and Lucian, very good, right? It's very good. And if you want a sustain option, death stance, these are all good items. So maybe you might sell this for a tech speed item later because it doesn't really work with
No,
not crit,
it's kind
right?
of good in lane. Like you come out of stealth, and if they've got no sustain, you're gonna hit them so fucking hard out of stealth. Do you know what I mean? And then they're like half their health's gone, and then they're like either gonna hang around in lane, and maybe you can stealth again and get them again, or so in that sort of sense, it is kind of
So yeah, no problems with build
it's
on
easy
Twitch.
to build as well, right? In the
That's
laning
true.
phase, it's an easy thing to get to.
That's true. So let's see. Let's actually see if we can see some Twitch examples where we have some kind of good team fights. Let's see any of these, for example. Let me see any of these. These are kind of different fights. Yeah, at this rank, it's more about picking people off and 4v5. There's no 5v5. There's no real 5v5. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just who can 4v5 less is winning the game essentially. It's just this is kind of how it works, right? This game's already over at 12 minutes.
Wow.
Let's see. We can probably whip out Plays TV too, honestly.
I mean, I've seen some on your montage. You got one on your montage where with Twitch you just delete like 3 people. You walk around the back and yeah.
Oh, here's a good example. Okay, here's a good example. All right, so let's pretend we don't have GA, but our GA is very valuable, right? And they have a Wukong, which is gonna one-shot you, right? Wukong has his ulti. You're gonna be donezo. So when you see Wukong, what do? Right? Oh, you don't want to hit anything, right? And he's literally coming. He's literally coming for you, right? Exactly. So it doesn't matter what you do. You just want to make sure you're not walking up into him, right? He's still doing the same thing. He's coming back for you, right? Which is that's the thing you have to know is that no matter what, if you don't get caught, that's winning.
Yeah, he's not a bot, right? He knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. We everyone knows what he's doing. So look, what did he get to do? Because we didn't get caught. He didn't do anything, right? His only goal is to try and do something like that to you, right? So if you could just keep your distance and hit him, you're already winning. You don't even have to hit him. Cho'Gath is already killing him, right? So that's kind of the big idea, the big takeaway for your fights, I think, is this idea. Because I think most players would hit this Alistar.
Do what you're doing now. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Right.
This is your first consideration in fights.
I feel the need to go in now. The need for me to go in now
Yeah.
and die would be huge,
Right.
My team's fighting, they need me. If I'm hiding, I'm gonna get pinged, and I probably should just mute people, right?
Yeah, definitely mute people. I don't know. They have no idea what they're talking about. Oh, this is a 5v5, right? This is a 5v5. This is also gonna be the same thing when it comes to people that kill you, right? Is stay away from Wukong until you're good to go, right? So Wukong uses E, you're good to go. Right, and then you can hit the closest guy. Ulti value could be better, but as long as we didn't get caught by this guy, you already won. Right, is the idea.
Health to clean up, right? So.
Right. It's basically he couldn't find anything. You guys automatically win. Is the idea. We didn't have to use ulti there, I think. Right.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well,
right.
Yeah, everyone can play better, right? Even in
but that's the big idea.
If you buy GA, right, and it knocks, and then you sell it and buy another one.
Nah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't reset.
Sorry, that just goes to show how much gold I have at times.
Oh my god, too much money.
Earlier, I had like 5k. I had nothing else to buy. The Twitch game, the top one. It was madness. Yeah.
Oh god, that's insane. Yeah. But yeah, I would say that is the number one thing you can work on.
Okay, dude. Okay. Thank you, man.
Patience and stuff. And make sure your plans are you're making plans before you execute, right? And it could be as simple as we're gonna come out of stealth and hit this Lucian, and then we're gonna kill him, right? You don't even worry about the guys that kill you first. And then once you can consistently kill him, the second thing is, or once you think you can always kill him, the second thing is make sure we don't get hit by abilities while we're killing him, right? And you can always build on that. Is the idea?
Oh, of course, yeah. That's what I love about League, man. It's like. I do like games where the skill ceiling is. There's always somewhere to improve, right? And
right.
Improving and saying, like usually something else start. It's like spinning plates, right? And you're trying to keep them spinning.
You can always get better, right?
Of course, man. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, what do you think? Any last questions or anything
No,
like that?
honestly, dude, I think you've covered more than like. But the questions I wrote down for myself were, funnily enough, is I wrote coaching session. What do I want from it? I've put a clear plan how to team fight correctly, which you give me. When to group for team fights. Again, you've told me that. How to use my skills in team fighting. We've gone over that as well. And am I too passive in team fighting? Which I'm delighted to hear. I'm not too passive. I probably need to be more passive, as in patience, right?
Right. You need to make sure that whatever plan you come up with is gonna work, right? And if you didn't come up with a plan, that's where you start. Come up with a plan first.
Yeah, I'm
That's the
guilty
big
of that,
idea.
man. I'm guilty of just like, especially when I'm ahead, I get lazy. Like, oh, I'm so far ahead, I'll just walk in, press R, man, AFK, you know?
Oh yeah, that's when they can get you
Yeah.
that's when they can get you is when the enemy has think they won. That's when you can strike hardest, right? That's when they throw. So always practice diligence, right? Every fight, any kind of fight, you always have some kind of plan going on. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
dude.
what I'll
Well,
say.
thank you very much, man. Thanks, honestly. It's great.
No
Like,
problem, no problem. If you do have any more like short clips like you had here, feel free to send them my way. Any other questions, I'm always down to answer on Discord.
Okay,
So
cool. Thanks a lot, dude.
no problem, no problem. Do you mind if I upload to YouTube and send you the link and all that
Feel
jazz?
free, man. Oh, perfect. Yeah, brilliant. Because I didn't tape it myself anyway. So yeah, thank you, man. Cheers.
All right, cool. All right, then go look in your games. Let me know how they go.
Cheers, dude. Good luck, mate. Bye.
Have a good one.